Today in Ancestry Lands, we're going to show you how to make money with some land ideas. What if 5 acres of corn could be your next and most profitable month of the year? I'll show you how to build a corn maze attraction from minimum land and layout to pricing, safety, and add-ons using the Buford Corn Maze as a real-world blueprint. For a small family-friendly corn maze, plan on about 5 acres for the maze itself. That's a common starting size used in extension budgets. Add about 1 to 2 acres for parking, plus room for admissions, food, restrooms, and photo zones. If you expect bigger weekend crowds, you might want to add overflow parking or even shuttle from a nearby lot. The Buford Corn Maze operates on a 32-acre family farm and features 5-acre corn maze, proof that you don't need hundreds of acres to deliver a top-tier experiment. Next, you want to map out the customer journey, from parking to ticketing, then photo ops into the maze, pay ride concessions, and merch, of course. Keep the line visible and moving and separate night haunt traffic to daytime families. Follow a one-way loop inside the maze with safety and emergency cut-throughs for staff and first responders. Plan in late spring and use healthy stands so the walls can stay tall in October. Designers now use GPS guided equipment and post-emergent mowing to draw the maze pattern with precision. Don't forget to check your irrigation and drainage. Cut the paths with GPS or a grid method after the corn emerges. So let's talk about path safety and accessibility. You'll want to cut paths wide enough for strollers and emergency access just to make sure everyone can get around safely. It's a good idea to clear the way, finding those handy You Are Here maps so folks don't get lost. Be sure to light key junctions for night hours and maintain accessible routes where feasible for events that makes a real difference for visitors. The first thing is you want to pick a theme. Could be local history, heritage, or even Halloween if you're feeling festive. Build photo moments every 150 to 200 feet, so there's always a spot for folks to snap a memory. During the day, aim for cozy fall vibes, and at night, switch to controlled spooky lighting in a bit of fog or atmosphere. Universities use 5-acre sample budgets to model costs, which can be pretty helpful. You'll want to expect line items for field prep, seed irrigation, path cutting, signage, and maps. Fencing, lighting, staffing, insurance, of course, and honestly, about $5,000 to $10,000 or more on marketing for 5-acre maze. All right, folks, let's talk about the pricing. You see, the typical daytime admission for corn mazes usually runs in about the teens, but if you're planning a visit during a haunted nights or those premium dates, you'll want to look for about $30 to $45 or more per person depending on your market. Now, here's a thought. Consider dynamic pricing for those quieter shoulder nights. Make it a real difference. Let's take a closer look at the Buford Corn Maze. Founded back in 2008 on a 32-acre family farm, it has grown into one of America's most renowned mazes. In fact, it's become recognized by Country Living magazine as one of the top 35 corn mazes. That's quite an achievement. So what's the Buford Corn Maze experience all about? Well, their maze itself spans about 5 acres, but oh boy, the experience is much bigger than that. You've got hay rides, kids' corners, jumping pillows, animal viewing, and plenty of concession stands. And of course, there are pumpkins galore. After dark, things get a little bit spookier with the haunted forest, scream zone, and with a lot of fun for everyone. So general admission to the corn maze runs about $18.50. That covers your maze entry, kids areas, and yep, all the you can ride hay rides. But that's just the start. Bring in extra revenue with food, pumpkins, and those night attractions that folks really love. That's how you're going to make your money. They really lean into a multi-million-dollar attraction model, so that way the maze is not just maze, but it's rides, play zones, animals, and pumpkins too. There's different programming for day and night with family-friendly options during the day and spookier vibes once the sun sets. Their branding is strong, and they get a lot of attention from local media with TV features, awards, and sponsor partnerships. Oh, and they offer season passes and group rates to help bump up the average spend per visitor. All right, so here's a sample build plan for your first season. In May and June, you'll want to run a soil test, order your seed, and get the field prep. Come June, it's time to plant the corn and double check your irrigation and drainage. We talked about that before. July, you should lock in your theme, order signage, and finalize your map. Late July into August is when you cut your corn maze path using GPS or grid system and set up your exits and cut-throughs. August is for building your entry plaza, ticketing areas, fencing, and making sure your queues are friendly. Early September is for the test run, staff training, and maybe even soft opening. Then September through October is your core season where you want to use dynamic pricing for those peak nights and upsell bundles where you can. In November, think about shoulder season events like live music, animal days, and if you're adding haunt, keep those haunted forest nights going on select weekends. And don't forget, you can boost your revenue with pumpkin sales and decor bundles. Food and drink like cider and donuts, photo packages at theme sets, merch like noodles and mugs, and special night events for lantern walks or haunts. Sponsor boards at the photo ops, and another solid idea. Buford does a great job showcasing their sponsors right on site. That's your extra money. Now let's model conservatively. Suppose you have a 20 operating days on an average 600 guests per day at $18.50 admission. That's $222,000 in-gate revenue before food, pumpkin, and night premiums. If 40% of the guests spend an extra $8 on concessions or merch, that's about $38,000 more. Your market will vary, so do local demand check and build up from realistic capacity and staffing. A high seasonal cash flow in September and October with a strong family demand. It scales with add-ons like hay rides, pumpkin, and those haunt nights. Plus, there's a great brand idea in media hooks and local TV and top magazine lists. Weather risks and crop health can really hit in attendance, so be careful. There's an upfront spend on marketing, which can be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 or more, especially on a 5-acre sample. Then you got to think about lighting and signage too, parking and traffic. Management gets pretty complex at peak times. Plan for about 150 cars per acre for the fields, and consider overflow agreements or shuttles just in case you're running out of night haunts. That adds safety and staffing and insurance needs. So you'll want to price accordingly. In your off season, you definitely can think of other ideas that you can actually see the acreage year round. For example, sunflowers and pollinator plantings can make for great summer photos, and butterfly releases can add some educational value. Animal and petting zones work well for spring events and school tours. Plant cover crops to help improve the soil and get things ready for the next season. In winter, it's a good idea to repair props, redesign your maze, and even pre-sell passes. It's important to cover your bases with local zoning and permits for the agritourism and events. Make sure you've got the right insurance, especially liability and anything extra. For those night operations, try to have friendly routes and parking where you can, following temporary event guidance. Set up a solid parking operations plan, including ingress, egress, overflow, and clear signage. Always keep emergency access lanes through and around the maze so you don't forget at lighting junctions, staff radios, and first aid station. To close it out, you do not need a theme park budget. With around 5 acres for your maze and some smart add-ons, your land can really light up the fall season in your balance sheet too. Ancestry Lands is all about promoting generational wealth through land ownership and financial awareness, and giving you ideas on how to make money with your lands. Like, share, subscribe, and follow us for more content to help build your legacy through land. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button. We'll see you in the next one. That's it, folks. You can go to Ancestry Lands to start owning property today, with payments starting at $250 a month, no credit checks, and owning land has never been easier. It's time to build your land portfolio one property at a time. We help you to get dollars from dirt and build generational wealth by owning small plots of affordable vacant land. Contact us to learn more. Oh, and speaking of dollars from dirt, I also wrote a book about investing in land for you readers out there. My book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, A Beginner's Guide to Vacant Land Investing, is on Amazon. The link is in the description section below. Inside, you'll learn simple, easy to read insights that will have you understanding why you should own land today. For more tips and tricks, subscribe for updates, comment below, and let us know what you enjoyed about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And remember, like and subscribe.